Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm still on by Island Metro Park on the banks of the Great Miami River. I'm going to cover one more video subject today. You know, there's been some news over the last week that various mayors across the state of Ohio, all of them being Democratic, of course, they want to make Ohio the sanctuary state, and some of them have already said the mayor of Cincinnati, their city is a sanctuary city. The mayor of Dayton, whether she says it or not, she feels that same way too. So again, you know, we have more law breaking by our elected officials that just should not be happening. And this is an issue that, well, it's going to be very curious to see what happens, because a lot of the people, you know, the media, post various articles on their social media sites to get people riled up, to get people divided. You know, I see it a lot in almost all the mainstream media outlets, and all they want to do is, stir up trouble. They're so one-sided and so liberal in their coverage of things, it's not even funny. And this immigration issue is a very hot button issue, but these cities should not be allowed to be sanctuary cities. That is illegal. That is breaking the law. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how aggressively Trump goes after them, because he's vowed before that he's going to take away federal funding for sanctuary cities, which he should. And it's time that we get rid of people from public office that want to circumvent and break the law, that don't want to follow the law, because they do not have the right to be breaking the law the way they are doing with these liberal policies and supporting stuff that is flat out not legal, stuff that jeopardizes, the security of our country. So this issue is going to definitely continue to ramp up. Certainly if Hillary would have got elected, of course, this criminal behavior would be at an all-time high. But thankfully she didn't get elected. But I hope Trump, follows through on his promises to start cracking down on these sanctuary cities, because it's long overdue that it happens. And the governor of the state and one of our state representatives, both Republican, Josh Mandel, who's the treasurer of Ohio, and of course our governor, John Kasich, who I personally don't like either, said that this should not be allowed to happen. So it's going to be very hard for the Democrats to ultimately force this through the state legislation. And the only way they're going to even try anything would be if they try to use what they call home rule, which is a facade and a complete joke. Sorry, people. Home rule or city law does not supersede state law. We've had a big battle in regards to that with the red light cameras, the use of the red light cameras, which that is still under, that still is going through the courts. That still is going through the courts and vice versa. So it's time that we vote out politicians that want to endanger, our well-being and safety, and just to flat out say, get rid of them, show them the door. because they ultimately need to be kicked out of office. But we're going to see what's going to happen over the next several years, because, you know, of course, you know, the paranoia from the liberals is at an all-time high. They're really paranoid of Trump, which to me, that's a good thing. Because, you know, they're whining and crying, liberal mamby-pansies, which we'll see how long he continues to allow all this rioting and all this looting across various cities of the country. Because they have a right to protest, but they do not have the right to riot and destroy things. So, you know, the shit's about to hit the fan. But the idea of Ohio, or flat out any state being a sanctuary state, is flat out criminal. And it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. But I'm sure I'll come back and touch on this subject with other videos at some point in time here soon. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So please oppose any of our politicians who continue to support this stuff, and also oppose any federal judges, anybody on the Supreme Court that wants to continue this criminal behavior. That's it for this one.